great story.
Yeah, when it's not being done by Guy Ritchie.
Oh yeah, don't watch that version, guys.
Yeah, I hope he's not watching.
If you're watching, Guy Ritchie,
I loved Lock, Stock and Snatch.
we'll make a film with you. Yeah, we can star in it. Comedy duo genius.
Is everybody ready?
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back to Watch Along Pods.
This week we watched
The Sword in the Stone.
or the Anvil, as it is.
Yeah, it's an anvil. Why is it called Sword in the Stone?
Oh, who knows? Who knows? But yes, that was this week's film.
It was, came out in 1963.
He's back with the dates, guys.
I am, yeah. Did you know this was the last film that came out before Walt Disney died?
That is sad.
Yeah.
It's also sad that it wasn't maybe one of the best.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a shame, but it does have a place in a lot of people's hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of people love this film, and I did enjoy it. But it's not one I'd want to watch and watch and watch.
I watched and watched and watched this as a kid. Didn't remember any of it. That seems to be something I say most episodes at the moment. But God, I don't know why I enjoyed it so much as a kid. Nothing happens.
I guess it's quite boy heavy in terms of if you're a little boy, it's got lots of male characters, which obviously a lot of the princess films don't always have that. It's also silly.
Yeah, it is.
It's silly. And I think that appeals to children. Whereas as you get older, you get more like, you do the right thing. Like, I think you get more frustrated. Oh.
Yeah, certainly felt frustrated with Merlin a few times during this film.
But he is a great character. Come on.
He's funny.
He portrays himself as a crazy old man. But he has all the knowledge, really.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the most powerful magician, but he's not very good at it.
Well, he is when he wants to be.
No, and we will talk more about the battle with Madam Mim later. But during that battle, he can't remember his spells. He's constantly messing up.
Well, he's getting old. Look at that beard. He's been growing that a long time.
It's an impressive beard.
I mean, he gets in his way quite a lot, but...
Yeah, there's a bit where he's pouring tea and he just like pours it into his beard. Love that. My beard used to be much longer than it is now. It used to be like down there. So that is a struggle. Not tea, but...
I mean, were you pouring tea like this?
No, I wasn't pouring tea into it, but I couldn't eat soups. Let's just say that.
Oh. No, I think Merlin is a great character, but he's a bit all over the place. I wonder if it's all the time travel has messed up his mind a little bit.
Maybe. He knows stuff that he should not know.
Well, he's been to the future.
He has.
And Bermuda.
And Bermuda. What's Bermuda?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. It's interesting, like, when you've watched enough time travel stuff, you start thinking a little bit more about the consequences of time travel. And he is playing a risky game. Like, he could be causing paradoxes all over the place.
Yeah, but he's not telling anybody about the future too much.
He's telling people enough. He's showing Arthur trains.
Yeah, but
That must have blown his little mind.
Yeah, but Arthur is a bit dumb in this.
Yeah, Arthur's also American. Those two things aren't necessarily connected.
No, well, I don't know. No,
Why
I'm
is he
joking.
the only American character?
Yeah, that is weird. Maybe to make him stand out. I don't know.
I don't know. He's supposed to be set in London, even though London didn't exist in medieval times.
Well, not quite the London we know, but
Yeah.
you know, it was. It's all a bit all over the place, but you know, it is what it is. It is not historically accurate, but that's okay.
No.
Though, did you notice? We haven't had this for a few weeks. Foreshadowing.
No.
When Merlin came back from Bermuda, did you not did it not make you think of?
Genie.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So is it foreshadowing? Because it's when Aladdin comes around, it's more of a callback.
Well, we're gonna say that's foreshadowing
Because we haven't said it for a few
Yeah.
days. Yeah, let's have this, okay?
We're gonna claim it.
I mean, there is a callback in a later film that references Madam Mim. Do you
Yeah.
know about that?
I think so. Yeah.
In The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Lewis. He has a wig on or something at one point, and it's
Yeah.
identical to Madam Mim as a croc.
Bless. I mean, that is a great scene. It is funny for kids, I think, because they keep changing.
Yeah, it was the best scene in the film.
It's quite a funny scene.
Yeah, it wasn't just entertaining for kids. I enjoyed that.
And I love Madam Mim. She just is mad, and the fact that she accepts she is mad makes her even better. And I love the fact that she could be young and beautiful, but is like, this is what I
am. So we need to talk about that. She is hot. She's smoking hot when she's in that young appearance.
No, I really like the magic in this. I think that's the only thing that really makes the film special is all the magic.
Yeah, I felt that the magic was the main reason for this film.
Oh, 100%. It didn't even need to be the story of King Arthur. It was just about a kid meeting a wizard and having some fun.
Yeah.
You know, and I get that Merlin was trying to teach Arthur some, you know, what's the word, lessons?
Yeah.
About, you know, even if you're the smallest fish, it's about being tactical and using your brain. Because obviously, Merlin knew he was going to be king, and what you're going to need for king, if you're the smallest, you're going to need to be tactical. And you're going to need to use your brain.
Yeah. So what did the bit where he nearly shagged a squirrel mean?
That's about Guinevere.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing what's going to happen, that women and that can be tricky. And you got to keep your mind at, you know, sharp against the ladies of the world. I love the squirrel. That's probably my favourite, is the squirrel bit.
Yeah, that was the one bit that really brought it all sort of coming back to me as I was watching it.
That's the bit I always really remember, is the squirrel bit, and the girl squirrel who then cries when he turns into a boy.
She's heartbroken.
She really is.
I like the other squirrel that falls for Merlin, and she's like proper harassing him. He's like, "Madam, madam."
I like how the squirrels look like Merlin and Arthur as well. Like, even when they're fish, they still look like that. They look like them as fish and them as squirrels. It's weird.
I think it would have been funnier if the animal versions of them, or the animal version of Merlin, had the massive beard. They give him a moustache, but not the beard.
Yeah. I think that probably would have gotten in the way as being a squirrel.
Yeah, maybe.
Tripped over.
And as a fish.
Yeah. Would have been weird as a fish.
Weird beard.
But no, that is a great scene. And then they turn into birds. I feel
they
like
both turn into birds?
Does he not? I can't remember now. I only watched it today.
Oh, I watched it less than 24 hours ago.
I don't know. Arthur definitely turns into a bird. And then Archimedes tries to teach him how to fly badly. I think that was the least entertaining transformation.
Well, the fact that I don't really remember it speaks volumes.
That's when he falls into the fire pit of Madam Mim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, I think that the squirrels are definitely, they're top tier.
Yeah.
And another character I like is the wolf. Just because he keeps getting hit, he's really trying.
Yeah, it's proper slapstick.
Yeah,
it reminded me of Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, it is so like that.
You mentioned Archimedes just now.
Did Archimedes?
He's definitely worth talking about.
He is a bit pompous.
Oh yeah,
I am a bit like, calm down, Archimedes, you're an owl.
I like the fact that he can talk and everyone can hear him talk.
Yeah, and everybody's like, what?
A talking owl? How strange. Let's not mention it again.
Let's just be okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like if any animal spoke to me, if it was an owl, I'd be like, they are quite wise. I should probably listen. And be terrified because I'm terrified of owls, but
Yes, you have mentioned that before. I think he's a bit scarier than the other owls that we've had as well.
He's just grumpy. He's very grumpy, isn't he?
Yeah, but his design, he's a bit more sort of ruffled.
Yeah. Well, he's living with Merlin. What do you expect?
Yeah, no wonder he's dishevelled.
And I loved it that he was really against being turned into a human. Like, that was the threat that got him to go and do what, like, Merlin wanted. He was like, no! He obviously loves being an owl.
Yeah, there was one part where he was teaching Arthur, and he was not a good teacher.
Read all those books. What?
Just so you can't read, you idiot. It was like being back at school.
I feel like they are quite harsh on Arthur. Like, considering he's meant to be, 11 years old. He's been brought up as almost, a servant rather than a member of the household because he was an orphan and whatnot. He's treated terribly. And Merlin comes along and also sort of treats him terribly at the same time. I'm like, this poor kid, he just wants to be a squire because, he wants to do something important. And I felt for him when he started crying. I did feel for him.
I think he's a very, very weak character.
He's only 11.
I don't care.
Were you big and strong at 11?
Yes, look at me.
Emotionally?
I was probably emotionally stronger then than I am now. But no, I just like he's got nothing going for him, and like I just feel really sorry for him. He's scrawny. He's got no family to speak of.
Yeah, but then he's the king, so
yeah,
he makes up for it later on in life,
I guess.
Talking of the king, he's not talking. He's very short. The actual legend of King Arthur. Do you believe it or not?
I don't know. I have I have to admit that I did think there was some truth to it because I've been to Tintagel Castle in Cornwall, which is supposed to be King Arthur's castle. And if you just look out across, because it's on the waterfront. Have you been there?
Possibly.
Yeah, so it's on the coast, and you can look down. There's cliffs and stuff, and there's a cave which is supposed to be Merlin's cave.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I believe that it was, but it's only really
today when I crushed his dreams.
Yeah.
I told him it's a myth, but there are lots of people who do think that there is truth in the tale. There's lots of different people out there that think it's this person from history or this person from history, and they've tried to piece it all together, and but really a lot of the stories about King Arthur started being written and stuff 300 years after he was meant to have lived. So it's really hard to know if there was any historical truth. I personally, for me, I think there was no King Arthur, but I think the stories about King Arthur are based probably on lots of different people and lots of different events and things that happened and have been brought together to make one big hero almost. So I reckon there probably is truth within some of the stories. There could have been a king that had Knights of the Round Table, and that could have been something that, got passed down, but I don't think it was, King Arthur, and I don't think there was a Merlin, and I don't think, all of that jazz.
Yeah. Was there a boy who became king by pulling a sword out of a stone or an anvil? Unlikely. Was there a king who got Excalibur from the Lady in the Lake? Not likely. Was there
Yeah.
a magician? Probably
No.
not. There was probably a crazy old alchemist.
Yep,
Um,
probably. I mean, and that's the thing. I think that over the years, the myths and the legends have grown and grown and grown, and more things have been added, and it becomes more fantasy. And I think that's really hard then when you get to this period of time to pick out, right, what was the fantasy that kept getting added in, and go back to maybe what the base folktale was that people were telling each other. So who knows if there's any truth in it? Who knows if there was a Lancelot and a Guinevere and they ran off together? And I'd like to think there was a Lady of the Lake. That'd be really cool, wouldn't it?
it would.
She just appears and be like, "Here's a sword." I'd be like, "I don't know how to use a sword, but yes,
I'll take it. I'll learn.
And I mean, Excalibur in itself has become so famous as a sword. Like, everybody wants to be like, "I've got Excalibur." Like, it is such a famous, probably one of the most famous swords, I think. If somebody said to you, "Name a sword,"
That would be the only one I could name.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I'd probably name something from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and I think that is part. That's what's built up the legend of all of these characters and this craziness that goes around with it, and the fact that we still make movies and things about it to this day. People still love the legend that is King Arthur. No, I do think it's a shame that Disney didn't use more of the actual legend of King Arthur, because I feel like this film could have done with a little bit more storytelling.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It was a lot of.
Individual things, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was Merlin and Arthur goofing off. That's all it was.
I get that he was trying to teach him lessons, but it didn't feel connected because I almost felt like we were watching it through Merlin's eyes of how chaotic everything was, and it just went from one to another, to one to another, to one to another, and you're like, is there a flowing theme
Yeah.
through this movie?
Yeah.
Obviously, you sort of know, oh, well, at the end he's going to become king. But probably as a kid, I didn't.
No, the first time you saw it, like,
I might have known. I can't remember.
but it's quite obvious. They set it up. It's the first thing they
Yeah.
say. So, I don't know. It is quite obvious. I feel that the storyboarders had ideas for scenes and they were like, yes, amazing. This is what's going to happen in this scene. They turn into fish and ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got another scene over here where he's battling Madam Mim and they're transforming, and that's going to be really cool. But they didn't have anything really to gel it all together that made sense.
It felt like individual shorts put together almost.
Yeah.
Which, it worked.
Kinda.
I do think there could have been a bit more, but
I probably could have forgiven the fact that it was quite disjointed if I felt like there was any kind of meaningful relationship between the characters.
And really, you sort of almost wanted Merlin to be a bit of a saviour for Arthur. And actually, Merlin abandons him and isn't there when he becomes king. Then he's come back and been like, bam!
Takes all the credit.
And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, he comes back and then he's like, oh yeah, of course, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. He's like, what, so you didn't realise that's what this was the whole time?
Yes, he obviously did, but he's a crazy old man, so... But I do think it was all sort of almost from Merlin's point of view, because it just felt a bit chaotic. But
I was going to say, this, of all of the films to get sequels, this one really should have had one, because there's so much that's already written that they could have adapted.
Yeah, there's so much more after he pulls the sword from the stone.
Yeah, but what do we get instead? We get 101 Dalmatians go to Paris or whatever it is.
Oh Well, some Disney sequels are all right, okay.
I just haven't seen any of them.
The Aladdin sequels are excellent.
Oh, do you know what? I've seen The Return of Jafar.
Love the Return of
I
Jafar.
had that on VHS.
Yep.
40.
Is it the 40 Thieves? Is the third one?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
That's good. That's where he goes to look for his dad.
A dad in.
Did you notice a little? I don't know whether this movie took inspiration from this, but I doubt they did. But it really reminded me of a modern day movie when Kay is practicing with the lance and Merlin's watching from his tower, and he says something like, "It's just a boy playing with a stick," or something like that. And it really reminded me of the line from Knight's Tale where he goes, "It's called a lance, hello." Literally, that's the first thing I thought of.
Oh, the writers of A Knight's Tale must have seen this. It must have been a reference.
I mean, Knight's Tale, great film. He's only ever seen it once.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Fuming. Add to the list of the many films I've told him he has to watch.
Yeah, with all of those different adaptations of Cinderella that I've got to get through.
Well,
I mean, I've already seen this one. Do I really need to go back and watch it? I remember it being really good. I enjoyed it.
I just think you need a refresh.
Okay. I think the last time I saw it was probably when Heath Ledger died.
So you need a refresh.
Yeah. What are you saying?
Well, I didn't want to say it outright, No, I did think though, talking about the tower, why doesn't Merlin just use his magic to fix it?
I don't know. He's a fool. That's why.
Okay, but it's a fair point. Like, he puts all of his stuff in a bag, which is a great bit, when he's doing the woo, and then he gets to the tower, it's all out, and yet he's using umbrellas to pop up in the holes. Like, I'm like, do you use your magic?
Just fix it. I mean, speaking of Merlin's magic, I think probably the best song in this is when he's doing the magic and packing his bag. But it does something that I really, really don't like. And it's not the first time this has happened in a Disney film. And it's not the first time it's happened in a film that we've watched as part of this podcast. He must have gone to the same magic school as the fairy godmother, where they just make up gibberish words for their spells and then make a song out of it. I think it's really lazy. I know the Sherman brothers who wrote the songs for this were geniuses.
Disney royalty.
But I just find that really lazy. Inventing words to make a rhyme is...
Yeah, that's fun. That's what magic should be. Abracadabra. Somebody made that up.
That's a real magic word.
Abracadabra.
Be careful how you use it, okay?
Wow.
Something else that Merlin does with his magic that I really, really liked was the sugar pot.
I love the sugar pot. He is so sassy.
Yep. It's like, say when. When. But he just heaps it up because he's not paying attention.
And I love that when they're all going into the bag, the sugar pot wants to be first. And then, like, Merlin stops them all and he, like, almost crashes all the china. And he's still, like, afterwards, he's still, like, punching them back. Like, that is a very sassy. Or when Merlin puts him out to stop the water and he gets the spoon and he's like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
But I think overall our thoughts are similar on this film, aren't they?
Yeah. It was all right. It had good scenes, but ultimately,
it was fine. I think it was there's some really lovely moments in it and some iconic moments as well with iconic characters. But overall, not one I'd be quick to be like, let me watch it again, you know?
I would quite happily never watch it again.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I ever need to see it again.
I don't feel like I'd miss out if I never watched it again.
Yeah. I'm glad I've rewatched it in a way, but there is a part of me that would have preferred to have left it as a nice childhood memory.
Yeah.
That, oh yeah, I used to watch that a lot when I was a kid. I loved it. But now I'm kind of like, what did I see in that?
You saw the chaos.
I saw the chaos.
You loved the chaos.
I saw the colours.
Yeah.
I saw the cute animals.
You fancied the girl squirrel, obviously.
I was totally jealous.
Though no sexy fish in this.
No, there were fish, but they
weren't
were
sexy
just
fish.
average.
They could have had Cleo flirting with Arthur in the pond.
Surprised they didn't.
Yeah. You missed out, Disney. Could have had some sexy fish back.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to keep the episodes a bit shorter because we've had a little bit of feedback from my mum.
We prattle on a bit too much.
We talk a lot. So we're going to try and condense it a tiny bit. But if you prefer it longer, we'll...
There's the opener.
If you would prefer a longer video, if you like them at about 45 minutes, or you want us to cut it down to 25, 30, let us know in the comments. So
yeah, honestly.
We want to entertain you. I mean, we also want to entertain ourselves, but
Yeah, we do appreciate feedback, as long as it's constructive. But yeah, if we're going on for too long, we don't want to bore anyone. But if you feel like you're not getting enough, let us know.
Let us know.
We will review it.
But we do have one last thing to do today.
Yep.
We got to rank it. So we need to rank the film. We've got our little picture here. Of course, we have to have Merlin.
Yep.
Again,
Merlin spoiling the future.
Yeah, Earth's round, not flat, guys.
Creating paradoxes.
Though some people still disagree with that.
Have you never met Merlin?
We might have. And we might just not know.
Well, I think the Earth is round, so yeah, I have met Merlin.
No, but what I'm saying is Merlin goes to the future. We may have met Merlin at some point in our lives. And we just didn't know. Might have been one of our teachers or something.
Yeah, you said that in one of the myths, Arthur is coming back. He's set to return.
Oh,
he just went off and he's waiting. What if he has come back? What if he came back and he's
Donald Trump?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What if he's just an awful person like Trump?
I mean, he would probably be English.
He isn't in this story.
Well, he should be. So.
And he's got blonde hair. Oh, it's all adding up.
Donald Trump is King Arthur. This is what could make us go viral.
I think it'd be for the wrong reasons.
Right. So, one of our recent ones was Sleeping Beauty at 63. I'm thinking probably around there.
Ah, well, I was thinking lower.
Would you?
Yeah. What's our lowest? That's Fantasia.
Fantasia? I don't think it was
80
as bad
or something,
as
isn't it?
Fantasia, was it?
No, it wasn't as bad as Fantasia.
I would say, but I would still say it was higher than Ichabod, though.
Yeah, but I think marginally.
So Ichabod was at 79. What are we thinking? 75?
Yeah, around there.
Around there, should we go with 75? Does that feel right to you?
Yeah, I think so. It might move later, but
75. What do you think? You do know someone's going to be really upset with us.
Someone specific?
Yeah.
Who?
Gareth.
Ah.
Gareth, we're sorry.
I'm not.
I'm keeping that in.
Good.
You can't swear on YouTube.
I didn't.
I'll blur it out.
You can do that on YouTube.
Yeah, Gareth's one of his favourite Disney films.
Well, I am sorry, Gareth, but you're wrong.
You're not wrong, but
No,
you are wrong.
Everyone is entitled to their opinion, even when it is a bad one.
Yeah, exactly. But next week, we are watching...
It's a favourite.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not like an absolute favourite, but I love our next film, which is The Jungle Book.
Ooh, 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 I want to be like you. Ooh, ooh.
Dooby-dooby-doo-ah.
There is some great songs in there.
Amazing.
And I do like Jungle Book. I haven't probably watched it since I was a child. I think the snake used to scare me. So I'm not really looking forward to that bit. But yeah. It'll be a good one. And we'll see. Hopefully it will be ranked higher than Sword in the Stone. But who knows? We could watch it and be like, what were we thinking?
I doubt it.
Anyway, all that's left for us to say is remember you're never too old.
You're never too good to be young.
What is that?
I don't know. You're never too good to be young.
Oh, we'll leave it at that. Bye.
Is everybody ready?